Sound test. Leaderboard would be nice. Hi, Donut Master. I see that you've also decided to test the chat. Okay. Stream seems live. Twitch, YouTube. Sound test. Mute. Hi, Joel. The plan for today is hopefully to cheer on some people during IOI day 1. And that being said, for that we need leaderboard. If there is no leaderboard and no public problems, then I will not do much, because there is nothing to commentate on. Until we see the leaderboard, I'm going to talk with the chat. The likely scenario is that today we see only the leaderboard, and on day 2, which is on Friday, we see the leaderboard, but we also see problems from Wednesday, so then I can at least talk about problems from the first day. Ranking, let's see. Okay, this is great. And is there a way to access the problem statements? By the way, I recall souvenirs was name of a problem from few years ago. I wonder if it was IOI or maybe COI. But I recently conducted a camp and there was a problem called souvenirs. Oh, and we have 4 points already. Brian Brian Boyang from Singapore. 4 points. So far the winner of IOI. Okay, link. Yeah. So this is the link to the blog that will collect other things. I guess we can put this here. This is the leaderboard itself. I'm going to put the leaderboard in the YouTube description. Done. And on Twitch you can do the exclamation mark link. Though maybe I will later change it to leaderboard. Are you gonna solve the problems too? If they publish it, I will read them and share my thoughts. I will not code anything, that's for sure. I don't want to spend time on that. Status, you're disconnected. Here you go. I guess too many people are trying to refresh. Okay, anything else? Statements maybe, please. So how did you guys get the leaderboard ranking? Bapax, where did you get it from? How many participants? There should be... I have no idea. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to count it in a very professional way. 334. That many. And right now everybody has second place except for Brian. Nice start in 2 minutes. Yeah. Can we get the exact time of submission? I recall such feature in the past. Oh yeah, 2 minutes and 34 seconds. to get points. Rainbow participating, I don't know. What is Rainbow's real name? More people first. Yep. I think for this you need to well, the statement needs to be short. I think shorter than usually it is in IOI. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Here you go. Anybody bet on Bosnia and Herzegovina to be winning IOI? Yes. Ryan or Rain? How do you pronounce it? Rainbow is participating. USA won. He has 0 points right now. IOI harder than Code Forces Division 1. I mean, in some ways, you have 5 hours. So it's very different. An average IOI problem is harder than an average Code Forces problem, that's for sure. That being said, is it harder to get IOI full score than Code Forces full score? I don't know. I'll bet you $5 that US team wins. I like betting, so I guess if I knew you, I would agree, just for the fun of it. Yeah, Rainbow, his graph is crazy. Code Forces, Rainbow. So his strategy in Code Forces is to solve problems from hardest to easiest. So this is his rating. It's just that sometimes he starts submitting hard problems, but he doesn't have time to finish everything, and his score is terrible. Even though, I mean, his decrease in rating doesn't mean that he's weak. It's just a fun strategy. You believe in the full score? Maybe. How much is full score? Full score should be 3 times 100 points. I really want to get the problems, please. I wonder if some country participates online. Okay. Hide message. By the way, let me test this functionality. This. Here we go. So just like you can see above my face, the stream is sponsored by XCamp. They do courses, USACO courses, mainly in the US. In particular, the time zone of classes matches the US students mostly, so it's hard to do for Europe. And in particular, the 75% of the US team is they attended some XCamp classes. We'll talk about it more in the future, but I think from the USA team, how do I quickly get to those? Alex attended some courses from XCamp. Rain, I don't think so. Bing did. And Brian also did. Also, Brian got, I think, 3rd place in IOI 2024. So my sponsor wants you to cheer for the US team. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to review some particular profile on Code Forces. Do you think Romania has a chance of winning? Is there somebody particularly strong from Romania? Well, there should be in Code Forces something, right? Code Forces, IOI 2025 participants. Let's see. Romania. to answer your question, no. I think nobody from Romania will get first place, and Romania as a country will not get first place. I think it's not a crazy guess that China will win. They literally have 4 legendary grandmasters. That's so crazy. At least the max rating. And often those guys do not participate in Code Forces much. So their actual rating maybe should be way higher. Will someone ever break Gennady's IOI number of wins? It's possible. That being said, maybe the whole sport was easier to be at the top many years ago. It should be harder and harder every year because more people try, more people spend more time, there are good materials. In particular, I think 50 years ago, if there were any programming contests, so few people tried them that it was easier to be the best in the world in them. I'm not saying that 15 years ago that was it was such a big difference from today, than like 50 years ago versus today, but still, every year it should be harder. Did you train the Polish team this year? No, I did not. I wonder if I did anything with the Polish team this year. I don't think so. No. Several years ago, I did weekly trainings for the high school in Warsaw. It is the strongest high school in Poland, and some of my students went to IOI, and one guy even got a gold medal. But in the past couple of years, I'm not doing Olympiad training in Poland. South Korea. I mean, I think for countries, we should mainly ask, does a particular country have a chance of getting second place? I think, as a country. And then South Korea can do that. South Korea has a chance for second place. Though they are not hired, but still. Legendary Grandmasters participating? From China, yes. Isn't Russia participating? I think they might participate not under Russia flag. So if I search for Russia, they are not there, but it should be like Team IOI 1 or something like that. Gimran Abdulin. Let's search for him in Code Forces. Russia, here you go. So the Team IOI 1 is Russia. It's just that they are not allowed to participate as Russia. My 10 friends are in IOI. Well, congrats, that's a high score. Practice problems are interesting from this year. To be honest, I have no idea. Do we have access to that publicly? Anybody knows? If they already published the practice problems? If so, I can take a look at those. Grekova Daria, strongest female. Then we'll see how she does. So anybody knows what are the IOI teams exactly? 1 should be Russia, 2 is what? Belarus? By the way, did they ban Israel or not? Because I remember the talks. Yeah, okay, so it must be Russia, Belarus, and Israel being banned. Okay, I will skip some comments because I'm lagging behind. I like how you guys learned. Let's see. Also, I want to unmark this and this. Okay. Bulgaria have a chance of getting second place. Bulgaria. Not really. Very small chance, I think. No. realistically, either you need to be close to the top, or in your country there needs to be a culture of not doing code forces too much. So even if China in this leaderboard was like 10th place by code forces rating, they would still be favorites because we know they are strong and they don't do code forces much. Okay, now something interesting is happening. What's going on? So souvenirs, people got, it was 4 points, right? Do I remember correctly that many people got 4 points? Then you can even get lower score. Maybe it's another subtask, not the very first one, I wonder. But you can get 25 points, and this suggests that the statement is easy to read and that this is the first statement that you open. Maybe problems are, sorted when you open them or when you get them, not necessarily by difficulty, but still sorted. Oh, I see that in Ireland there is somebody who sounds Polish. Piotr Stelmaszek. I don't know him, but that's a very Polish name. For triples, also people have 8 points. Triple peaks. Something about mountains. Souvenirs is souvenirs, world map is world map. Triple peaks. Let's see if maybe anybody mentioned problems. Nope. How are Chinese so good? Codeforces is not the only platform out there, right? It's not that Codeforces is the only place where you can practice. They have a lot of people in that country. For many years already they are strong, so there are strong coaches. There is this culture that many kids will try programming and will try to excel at it, spend a lot of time. And I'm not saying that other countries cannot achieve the same thing, but they just spend less time on it. For example, how many people in Poland, how many young kids in Poland will try programming and will be encouraged to spend several hours a day on it? Not many. So to answer your question, Codeforces is not the only algorithmic platform, but another question is how is China so strong, and that's more complicated. Link to the table with the results? Yes, it's in the description of the YouTube stream, but also I will paste here. Can I try solving practice problems? Can you give me the practice problems? What other platforms do they use? I mean, there are for sure many. 18 points for triples for Isan from Great Britain. I don't know. Is it safe for me to open ChatGPT? No, I'm not sure what kind of history of messages you would see. Maybe there is something confidential related to problem setting. So I will not open. But there are Chinese platforms out there. They are in Chinese, so I don't know them. Is China already winning, by the way? Only one person with positive score. Shame. Will OpenAI win gold? I think so. Actually, Olympiad is the easiest competition for OpenAI, for any kind of AI, because you have subtasks. So you actually have a lot of smaller tasks and you can keep improving your score. With same difficulty of competitions, AI will have harder time in ICPC. Also, we have another 25 points. OpenAI, I think, starting from this year, is a sponsor of IOI. So friendship with Jane Street ended. Let me show you some confirmation. Is there something mentioned about the sponsors here? Actually, is Olympiad officially sponsored? Yeah, OpenAI, here we go. And Huawei. I didn't know that Huawei is still the main sponsor. That's nice. This company I know because it's located in Europe, and recently they organized a big competition with online qualifications. Is there a chance for Poland to win the IOI in the next 4 years? Especially considering Arthur. I guess Adam could participate, but he didn't want to practice. Adam got second place last year, I think. And he decided that it's good enough for him. If he participated, he could possibly win. I'm not up to date with young Polish students participating in Olympiads. I don't help with coaching of Polish students currently. I'm more involved in ICPC, so I know something about the university students. I'm not aware about anybody in Poland right now other than Adam who could possibly win IOI, but maybe there is somebody younger, I don't know. What? Whoa, 72 for world map. Also, should I move the chat on the screen in any way? Like when or maybe make it less transparent? Is it very annoying to read messages, you know, on top there, above the logo, because of the leaderboard in the background? If so, I can make it less transparent. Macedonia is goated. $72 points and 4 points. Well, for now it's one person. In particular, most people did not start from world map, so clearly they saw souvenirs and saw some easy points. What do I think about tourist skills? He's extremely strong. No, I don't have access to the problems. Practice session problems are here since Erita asked. Thank you, Kevin. Let me see. Do I have the account there? I have some old team account. No, I think I need to register. Macedonia, Indonesia, Japan, and Vietnam right now in the top. Well, I guess only the first place matters right now, but I will talk about the strategy in a moment. Can players see the ranking? I don't think so. Or do they? I think they do not. Okay. Here you go. Maybe before I open the practice statements from last day or something, let me talk a little bit about how we should interpret the leaderboard. Okay, and why actually it's not that already something is decided. So let's briefly talk about IOI scores and strategy, just very briefly. 3 problems, well, there are 2 days. Each day is 3 problems times 100 points. Problems times 100 points. Every problem has several subtasks. A problem is, for example, maybe first subtask is worth 4 points, then next one 17 points, 20 points, and so on. And the sum is 100. Now, the subtask worth 4 points always is easy, especially if it's the first one, but it doesn't mean that you should spend time on it, because maybe you spend time on it and it doesn't move you closer to the full score. For strong participants, so when we look at the top of the leaderboard and we wonder who will win, for top participants, the most important thing is whether you get 100 points on some problem. Then the problem is fully done. Actually, when you see, let's say, 50 points from somebody on a problem, it's great, but it doesn't mean that they are close to the full score, which is extremely important in fight for the first place. And now for the strategy. For strong participants, the recommended strategy is usually you can implement some brute force, like worth 4 points if you want, to make sure that you understand the statement correctly, and maybe so that you would have a brute force for stress testing. Strategy for the best. Small brute force to get some points, so confirm that you understand, confirm statement, let's say, and can stress test if you later create a big solution. But other than that, at the beginning of the contest, go for 100 points. In particular, it doesn't hurt, especially if you're strong, to first start by reading all the 3 problem statements. And if you look at the strategy, that's, let's say it's not a stupid strategy for the best. If somebody right now has 0 points, it tells us exactly nothing. Because maybe they are reading problems, or maybe they have read a single problem, they know how to solve it for 100 points, it's reasonably easy, and they go for it. And then in maybe 20 minutes, we'll see 100 points. Yes, I will look at the practice problems in a moment. Gennady is participating in IOI 2025? Really? I think he might be a little bit too old. He's roughly my age, so 30 years old. And I don't think he should be allowed in IOI. How is Poland doing? Well, Macedonia, let me unmark. Poland. Franek has 4 points, which means nothing. I'm not sad or worried about this situation. Again, it means nothing really. Do countries unhighlight if I refresh? No. So I always need to search. Or maybe can I do this and then Control F5? Nope, that wasn't enough. Okay, should we look in a moment at the practice problems? There is a gap between contest problems those days? What do you mean? I have no idea what you mean. I said at the beginning of the stream that it was easier to be the best 50 years ago. Are you talking about that? Build mathematical intuition. I guess solve a lot of math problems. I did a lot of math in school. A lot. I think the problems we can see only after the day is over, sadly. Okay, quick look at the USA team, and then it's United. And then we look at the practice problems. Alex, one of the ex-camp students, he has 7 points. That means nothing. Rainbow, 0 points. Bing and Brian, 0 points. I think Brian last year got 3rd place. Also, let's check. Yeah, Brian got 3rd place last time. Adam from Poland got second place, and he is still in high school, but he didn't want to practice and try for the win in IOI. I think he just says that second place is good enough, and first place would be such a huge amount of work and no guarantee for winning. In particular, look here, somebody from China dominated, really. And it was that year when more people from China would be at the top, but they got half disqualified from owning a phone on them. There is no teamwork. Olympiads are about people solving problems separately. Do I know Adam? I mean, I met him a few times. And I participated in math Olympiads. I was, let's say, 1 point away from going to IMO. If I went to IMO, I would be likely the weakest participant from Poland. Okay, practice problems. I've never seen practice problems in IOI. A plus B queries. Can I do this? What is the sum of oh, so this is just the easiest possible problem to make sure that you can submit. You're given 2 arrays, and there are Q queries. In each, you need to output AI plus B of J. No algorithm needed, just literally return this sum. There is even a subtask worth 25 out of 100 points where all elements in A are equal and all in B are equal, so you can output A of 0 plus B of 0. Unlike code forces, here you don't read and print, you instead implement functions. This is also what you could encounter in Topcoder, when Topcoder existed, and it's what you can, I guess, experience in LeetCode. Okay, 100 points, that means something. So right now, arguably, this person has the highest chance of winning the contest, or at least this day. 100 points is so much better than 72 points, because it's problem over, you move on. In particular, many people tried souvenirs. So maybe it's not a hardcore problem, but many people tried, and being the first among many to get 100 points means a lot. Versus in world map, maybe Victor got 72 points because not many other people tried. You can see that souvenir was likely first statement for anybody to open, and it wasn't a long statement, so many people read and then tried to solve it. No surprise, China #1. I guess so. Again, look at the where was it? Look at the table with countries sorted by rating. You have 4 people from China, all have max rating of legendary grandmaster, and other than that there is 1 such person from Japan. And that's it. 80% of Nutellas on IOI are from China. Crazy. And this is a person that trains for code forces, does a lot of code forces. People from China will have like 20 contests and already Nutella. Indonesia team, let's see. Indonesia is doing well. 3 people already with more than 4 points on souvenirs. That's good. In particular, I told you that for the fight for the first place, it doesn't matter much that you get those partial points. That being said, you can argue that having, let's say now 40 points is very nice for morale. It's so if you get 40 points versus if you get 0 points, let's say 1 hour into the competition, you might feel bad about it, and I think it can affect your performance heavily. I would even argue that such psychological approach is more important than, let's say, sleeping well before the contest. Of course, it's extremely important to sleep well before the contest, but if you feel bad about your performance, I can almost guarantee that you will perform terribly, very, very badly. Oh, somebody from UK got already nice points for 2 problems. And we have some more high points for world map. Okay, so this practice problem was useless. Duplicated binary strings. Okay, so we are talking about binary string. What am I looking at? This, okay, formatting was messed up. Duplicated binary string is just a string where first half is equal to the second half. It's like a palindrome but without reversing. Define strength of a binary string as the number of distinct contiguous duplicated substrings. Okay. There are 2 parts. In first, you need to count those distinct substrings that are double the strings. N is up to 100. Part 2. Find minimum and maximum strength. A random string, just make sure that consecutive characters are different, should hit minimum. What about maximum? I don't know. Okay, after reading the statement, I thought that n will be huge, like 100,000 at least, and this will be some kind of string structure problem or hashing, stuff like that, but here n is very small. What does the green rank mean? If you are saying here, it's a color from 0 to 100, where 100, the fully green color, means the full score for a problem. So it's just a visualization thing. IMO harder than IOI? In my opinion, yes. Math is older than programming and algorithms. I think that more people spend more time, more of their life on math. If you take somebody who is very young and you want to, let's say, coach them, I think it's easier to coach somebody to become a medalist of IOI than IMO. But that's just my opinion. Okay, so first subtask of this is again a practice problem, they didn't publish the problems for today. And I'm very sad about it. But on Friday, on day 2, we will have access, I hope, for problems from day 1, and then during day 2 I will talk about problems from day 1. Do I teach? Yes, I do teach. Then in second part, oh, they even say how many points. Oh, I see, this first subtask, it was just n was up to 100 because you get 15 points. Okay, sorry. I thought that you have 100 points for solving this brute force task. By the way, for this, if you want to solve it, let's make a drawing. So this is practice problem 2. Where is Am I drawing stuff? Am I coaching the Polish team? No. I did do that a few years ago. IMO is super talented kids who already know a lot but need some fine-tuning? I don't know why you would say that. And why shouldn't we say that for IOI? Okay, so in the first task we have a string of length n up to 100, and we're looking for strings such that first half equals second half. For that you can, for example, iterate I, iterate j. If the length is even, so j minus I plus 1 modulo 2 is 0. If the length is even, then you can figure out where is the middle. Or maybe instead of iterating two indices, iterate the starting index and the length k of every half. I think that might be easier. Then check if the substring from I up to I plus k minus 1 is equal to this substring from I plus k to I plus twice k minus 1. If this is equal, then this substring you insert into some kind of set of strings. And at the end you output the size of that set. So that was the easy part. The hard part of this, again, practice problem is to construct binary string. Earlier I thought that it's arbitrary alphabet. Binary string that contains as few or as many as possible. And do you get partial score? Yeah, your score is calculated according to the table. Okay. The minimum possible to achieve is 3. The maximum is 84. We can try to solve that. Is IOI like fixing printers? Yes, exactly, it's like that. It's just fixing printers. Every contestant is given 3 printers, 3 of them, each worth 100 points, and they need to print it. If you manage to even turn it on and make it make some noise, you get partial points. Minimal time to get IOI bronze. I know a person who did that in 6 months. He was already a participant of International Physics Olympiad, so he was already good at physics and thus also at math, and he got to IOI medal in half a year. But of course he was very talented, and if you don't know, if you're not good at math, then you will not get to IOI medal in 1 year, or maybe even never. I studied in Warsaw. Actually, I did some computer science, some math, and some economics. Is this gold? Well, it's a little bit too early to guess who will get what. I see that somebody from Team IOI 3. So what country is that? Code Forces. Russia? But wait, I thought that IOI 1 is Russia. IOI 3 is also Russia. I mean, if somebody today gets 100 points for souvenirs, 72 for world map, and close to 100 for triples, like 70 here, somebody already got, somebody from China, by the way, that, yeah, you are in the gold medal territory. IMO harder than IOI. Amazed by the slope of hardness of competitive programming over years. Problems became harder. Again, because it's a young sport. So chess or math are very old, and thus there shouldn't be huge progress or jump of difficulty year to year. Maybe chess was modified a lot by the introduction of strong computer engines, so that could change chess, I'm sure. But other than that, the level shouldn't increase that much. In competitive programming, it's still so new. We don't have And I'm sure that in 20 years, the materials, the known techniques will be so much different than today. Plus, it's a huge difference than that, let's say, 10 years ago, in many countries, in many schools, if you're a student interested in competitive programming, you would learn on your own from some materials online, but also note that many students do not know English well enough to participate internationally. That was the case for me initially. When I started competitive programming, it wasn't on Codeforces. I did not know English enough to do that. And I didn't know of Codeforces. Versus every year, I think you will also meet more people, older colleagues, coaches in your country, in your city, that already did competitive programming. So after after competitive programming grows, and then the previous generation, already they are adults, some of them coach, they have some CP experience. For younger kids, it's so much easier to start, and they will be more efficient. Radeusz wasn't that good at math when he started. Radeusz was way better at programming than math when he was, let's say, when he got to uni. At our first ICPC trainings, he didn't know what is integral. And now he's so much better than me in math. At some point, he solved everything from Project Euler. Oh, that was Belarus, yeah? IOI 3 was Belarus. Okay, I'm skipping some of the chat. I'm not able to keep up with everything today, with all the chat. Let's see some countries, shall we? I will maybe unmark this. Okay, what I'm interested in. Bolivia, let's see how the hosts are doing. Adriana has 21 points. That's from the second Bolivian team. And then some people have 7 points. That doesn't mean much. That was Bolivia. Then Brazil. Maria has 39 points. That's nice score. Again, maybe nice for the psychology of the contestant. If you already have nice score, you will not be tilted. You will not be very sad about your performance, so you won't feel so much stress. I did some coaching for Brazil for the past few years. Bulgaria, Canada, China. So China right now, first place, 8th place, with top score in souvenirs, top score in triples, and then close to 0 points. 0 points. Still, somebody might be coding 100-pointer, and then in a moment they will be in the top. Czech Republic. David, 25 points. Okay. Denmark, Ecuador, Egypt. Hong Kong. 39 points. The 39 points is you can have right now. You have 22nd place, but it's so close to even 150th place. Hungary, Iceland, India. What about India? 90th place, 24 points. Maybe that's a good sign, because clearly getting points in souvenirs is doable. It's easy. So maybe 24 points in the second task is better than 24 points in the first task. And then 0 points for the rest from India. Indonesia. Those are some high scores. 53 across 2 problems. 43 across 2 problems. 39. And let's see, that's 30 points across 2 problems. Am I looking correctly? Yep. Azerbaijan, you're saying? 25th place, 39 points, 24, and close to 0. Kazakhstan, I want to look at Kazakhstan. I also did some camps for Kazakhstan in the past. I even went to Kazakhstan like 4 years ago for 1 week to coach for Olympiads. I had an invite this year for an online camp for Kazakhstan, but then we agreed on dates, and then they told me, oh, actually we are canceling it. So I didn't. Last time I coached Kazakhstan was a few years ago, and now completely new people are participating in IOI. I don't know them. Around 20th place, around 40 points. And it's good. Everybody from Kazakhstan has some points. Actually, at least 36 points. So Kazakhstan right now might be one of the best countries if you sort by the minimum score. Right? Only Indonesia looked stronger so far. Maybe even not. 2 people vote for Morocco. Yasir has 47 points, including some for triples. Mohammed 14, Zakaria 22. Okay, now maybe some of my choices. I will continue from here. Ireland. There is one guy, almost Polish guy here, right? Piotr Stelmaszek. Go Stelmaszek. Polish name. Good luck. Italy, Japan. Who is the person in Japan who is legendary grandmaster? Well, I don't know the name. Maybe I could try everybody searching for the name online and try to get the nickname. Also, why is this uppercase? OTA. Is this really his last name, or does it mean something like not filled? Why is OTA uppercase? Lithuania. I think around 1/4 Lithuanian. So I wish them all the best. For now, 25 points for one person. Mexico, Moldova, Morocco we looked at already, New Zealand. One person with points. Okay, Poland. Most important thing for me, obviously. Still Franek with points and other people with 0. By this point, it's nice to have some points. It makes you feel better. Saudi Arabia. I also did coaching for Saudi Arabia a few years ago. I even went there more than once. It was interesting because I was in a city called KAUST, something University of Science and Technology, and actually the rules there are like, it's a European city rather than Saudi Arabia. They have their own rules. So if you saw, I don't know, in the news that maybe the first woman in Saudi Arabia could drive a car, stuff like that. Usually I think in that city it was earlier than that. So it was a normal European city. That was surprising. Sultan Alaipan with 40 points. Emad with 25, and then 2 people with 0. It's so crazy to me now that I go through countries that for so many of them I can just say, oh yeah, I was there, I did coaching for them. I was also in India twice. I didn't do coaching for Olympiad, but it was for ICPC. Are those 2 people related? Haifeng Liu and Hengxi Liu, both with 70 points. And one person with 0. If they don't jump to 100 quickly, then that's not good. Let me go to the end. Romania. I want to unmark China. 35 points. That's the first time I see that score. 22. Ukraine. How is Ukraine doing? Stepan Simak with 51 points for triples. And one more person. Daria with some points. 20. Two people with nothing. UK. Still Isan at the top. And USA. USA actually performing badly. The sponsor of the stream today is XCamp, and my task today is to from time to time check out the USA performance, because some students from the XCamp, programming camps, USACO camps are here, including Brian, who last time got third place in IOI 2024 for now 0 points. So not looking good for the US. I can take a guess that for the past few years, after 1 hour, this is their worst performance yet. We'll see if they improve. Okay, I can maybe catch up with the chat. Medal distribution percentiles. Half the people get medals. Maybe I will draw because it's easy to draw. This is 100 points. Sorry, 100% of people. Among them, 112 gets gold medal. Then silver, let's say that this is silver, 2/12, so 1/6. And then bronze, I don't have color for bronze. This is bronze. 3/12 gets bronze. This is bronze. Okay, so that's the not percentages, the ratios. Half the people get medals. Among the others, some get honorable mentions. That I think happens if at least one day you got in the first half of the contestants. So 1/4 of people, 25%, get silver or gold. And you can see that every medal is harder and harder to get. So, and 6 times more people get a medal than just a gold medal. And also closer to the top, getting higher places is harder. So I would say that getting a gold medal is maybe 10 times harder than getting bronze. Do I know if those problems will be posted on Shkapu? They were used in Open Cup or Universal Cup, so you can find the problems there, I think. The Polish judge systems are terrible. I mean, you cannot just migrate problems easier from a contest to upsolving. Let me find this for you. I want the Universal Cup. So if you search for 7th stage of 3rd Universal Cup on ucap.ac, you will find problems from the previous ICPC in Poland. If there are around 360 people participating, then yes, 30 gold, 60 silver, 90 bronze. I think we can roughly assume that. In the leaderboard at the beginning, there were around 330 participants. So it's close to that. It will be almost 30 gold, almost 60 silver, almost 90 bronze. Median rating of IOI. Let's take a look, not here. Did I close that? Also close other tabs to the right. Did you know that Chrome has this feature? Close tabs to the right. Median rating. I think that median rating is purple, if we see here, but maybe not all countries are mentioned. So I will take a guess that median rating is 1800. That seems high. I don't believe that it's 1800. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, 1800 is my guess. I wanted to participate in one Code Forces contest recently, but turned out I was a tester. Is OpenAI participating? I don't know, but I guess so, because they are a sponsor of IOI. Just like XCamp is sponsor of the stream today. Let me maybe now talk a little bit about them. Then we'll maybe take one more look at the leaderboard, and then we'll read the other practice problems. What do I have for XCamp? I think this is something I want to show you. So XCamp is a company in the US, also in China, doing USACO camps, in particular at Platinum/Grandmaster level. So stuff related to the training camp, getting to the camp in the US and getting to IOI. This year, 3 out of 4 IOI members are from XCamp, or they attended some camps, including Brian, who got 3rd place in IOI last time. And what you might be interested in particular is this Grandmaster program for Gold and for the US camp. You can see example topics like range DP, square decomposition, greedy with exchange argument. By the way, there is my blog on Code Forces about this thing. For IOI, it's more of advanced math, like heavy light decomposition. FFT is a strange topic. By the way, I don't like teaching FFT to Olympiad students. That being said, a few years ago in Polish Olympiad, there was a problem that required FFT knowledge. I didn't like that problem. And they have some mock tests, the placement test, all that stuff. I will now paste a link in the chat if you're interested in this. And if you use Erichto50 code, you will have a discount. What link do I have for you is this. This is one course, and then this is the other. Paste it in the chat. Okay, back to this. Oh, Pedro from Brazil got 100 points. Congrats to him. Also Australia and Switzerland, right? Why is Switzerland CHE? Some kind of Confederation Helvetica. Okay, that's why. Makes sense. Now the CH I think I would recognize. CHE I did not recognize. Let's go Brazil indeed. Is IOI a math competition? Maybe. Rainbow lagging. You know, he always starts from the hardest problems. That being said... Oh, actually he moved... it's not that he focuses on the hardest problem and doesn't want to try others, because he already has points in 2 problems. Alex with 7 points. I wonder. what the leaderboard will be for the US team at the end of the contest today. Average rating of people getting medals. I think there was analysis of that in Code Forces. Code Forces rating versus IOI medal. So this is the correlate. This is the link if you want to open it. Oops, did not want that. For gold medal, the median is 2,500, silver 2,300, bronze 2,100. What about median of IOI participants in total? I don't see, but I estimate it as 1,800, seems reasonable. Rating of IOI problems? I have no idea. I think that the hardest problem in Code Forces would get maybe a rating of 3,500 because those problems also can be very time consuming. Code Forces is 2 hours, IOI is 5 hours and you have fewer problems. So I don't know, if I was to guess, the ratings would be 2,100, 2,800 and 3,400, let's say. It's just a guess. I didn't participate in IOI. I once got to the finals of Polish Olympiad, and I wasn't far from going to IOI. Like maybe if I had a better day. That being said, people who went to IOI were stronger than me, more experienced. When I was at the end of high school, I was still so much weaker than others. At algorithms. Only at the beginning of university I caught up by practicing for ICPC. I'm not going to now do a lecture on centroid decomposition, but let me tell you this. Centroid decomposition is divide and conquer for trees. If there is a tree problem about paths, or pairs of nodes, then it might make sense to do divide and conquer. For the same reason, when there is a sequence and you have ranges or pairs of elements, you often do divide and conquer, or maybe segment tree. Segment tree is also divide and conquer. Don't spam so much. Don't repeat comments that much. Okay, back to the practice problems. So this was a constructive problem. Then there is boring game. Constructive problem was create a binary string that maximizes something. One moment, I'm checking some stuff. All right. So another example, another practice problem. Alice and Bob are playing a guessing game. There is hidden integer s. And it's binary search like. So is the number greater than x? Then the answer is yes or no. After some k turns, Bob gets bored and then he will give false answers. Bob always answers correctly to the first question. Do we need to find a hidden number? I have an idea for how to play this game. So it's a binary search, but starting from some moment, we will keep getting false answers. 150 queries. Oh, you need to get at most 67 to win. I have some solution for this. Let me explain. We know that the first, so this is practice problem number 3. It's binary search, but starting from some moment we are lied to with the answers of low versus high. I would start with this. Let me ask if the answer is smaller than something, let's say smaller than, I don't know, 500. Let's assume that the values are from 1 to 1000. And let's remember the answer, say that it was yes. Then keep binary searching, smaller than 2500, let's say yes. Greater, smaller than 125, let's say no. Then we are in range 125 to 250. Smaller than 180 or whatever that is, let's say yes. And from time to time, I will repeat my question from the very beginning. Smaller than 500. If I get answer yes, I ignore this. If I get answer no, it means from now on I'm lied to, so the last few questions also should be ignored. And then how often should I ask this? Because normally I need 60 questions to figure out the answer from 1 to 10 to 18, because logarithm, binary logarithm of 10 to 18 is around 60. We have 7 extra. Well, that's not enough. If, for example, every 10 queries I ask this extra question, I have plus 6 questions because of asking this unnecessary thing, and possibly the last 10 will be messed up, plus 10 repeat. You might need to repeat the last 10. So this gives me plus 16. That's the total of 76 queries. Instead, maybe first I should skip 10, then 9. I mean, first I should ask 10 in a row, then 9, then 8, and so on. The reason for that is I want to say that exactly 10 is wasted, or maybe I'm wasting this as an extra and then 9, and then I need to repeat it. Or maybe this one unnecessarily I did, and this, and those 8 I need to repeat. As long as the 9 plus 8 and so on, the sum of that exceeds 60, I'm good. So that gets me down to 70 queries. It's like 60 plus roughly square root of 60. And I think with that we're getting close to the 100 points. Right? 67. We're close. I think I would get around 70 something points. So let me repeat what my logic is. That first, there is a number in this range. First, ask if you are smaller than half of it, and remember the answer. Then let's say ask 8 queries. Just keep doing binary search. Then ask again this first question, and you get the answer. If the answer is still the same, it means that still the interactor tells me valid answers or correct answers. Then 7 queries. Then ask this again. Then 6 queries. And so on. Eventually, you will get an answer no, let's say. This means that those 6 queries you need to repeat because those were not correct. Actually, the first one you don't need to repeat. Well, you need to repeat because you don't know if it's correct. So you need to repeat that. So you wasted this, and additionally 1, 2, 3, this not. So here 9 queries are wasted. And then you continue normally binary search. You know that always you are lied to. But now, is this enough? 8 plus 7 plus and so on. This. That's not 60. You need to add 9, 10. Still not enough. I think you need to start from 11, sadly. If you do this, then the total of that should be 60. which means that I'm asking 71 queries or so. So this is the solution for 70 points. I don't know how to get 100 points, but maybe I would get it if I fought for an hour. These practice problems are here, by the way. So those are problems from the rehearsal contest. When users, they can test the environment, they can make sure that the laptop works, stuff like that. Okay, leaderboard update. How do I maybe I will learn how to pronounce this. I don't know if this will work. CZ. I will keep saying CZ. That's what I heard. Okay, CZ has 100 points for souvenirs. He was the first person to get that. And now 22 points for world map. I think that's a good sign because many people got points in world map and then jumped up to 72 points. Triples seems like a strange problem where there are 70s, so normal points, but also there is some optimization here. So this can give you partial score. I often, when doing Olympiad camps and stuff like that, I often recommend that people leave the optimization problem for the last, to just spend as much time as they can. Because if you keep working on such a problem and you can keep getting new points, you don't know when to stop. In particular, I hope, for the sake of this person, that they stop now, because 97 points is a lot. And for sure, it's a better time spent to work on some other problems and find for 70 points, 100 points, instead of maybe spending extra half an hour to get the free points here. On the other hand, it's also good to get 100 points, because then you can just forget about the problem fully. Otherwise, you will keep that in mind at the back of your head. Okay. What else is happening? Victor from Macedonia stopped at 72 points for world map and got some points for the other two problems. Maybe it's not perfect to have points for all three problems. That being said, it's good to read all the problems by now. At least after maybe 2 hours of the competition, you should have read all the three problems to make sure that you're not skipping the easiest one. How is Poland doing? Alkowski with 72 points. 39. I would like to see some points here, because by now you might just feel very stressed and disappointed in your performance if you have 0 points. Is IOI very important? I don't know how to tell you. Yes, it's important. For many people, it's the most important part of their life up to the moment of graduating high school. Yes, it's important. right now with 100 points. We have Switzerland, Italy, Canada, Brazil. That somebody told me what that is. That wasn't Russia, right? I don't remember now, but somebody told me what IOI 3 is. So there are a few countries, I think Russia, Belarus and Israel, that do not officially participate under their own flag. Australia and now... Oh, I didn't see this. Okay, we have 170 from China, and this is amazing score because souvenirs seems to be the easiest problem. Many people already got 100 points. Also, maybe because many people tried it first, but clearly 100 here is possible. So we have our, like, the person most likely to win today. Yep, that's very nice. $70 points here after 36 minutes and 100 points here after 1 hour 20 minutes. I wonder if he did problems just one after another, so 40 minutes to get 70 points here and then another 40 minutes to get the 100 points here for the world map. 72 easy, 100 hard. I guess you can say that, but you can say the same for triples for the 70 points. Maybe we can do this. For souvenirs right now, we have 7 full scores, a single score of 67, and then a lot of 39. So in souvenirs, 39 and less is very possible, 100 is doable. For triples, 70 is doable, and then there are some lower scores. For world map, 72 is doable, and then there are some lower scores. Already twice people got 86 points. Let's unmark China and see if the United States improves. Still mainly Rainbow carrying the US team. But Brian got 3rd place in IOI last time. So I'm expecting 100 points here soon. I wonder when we will see triples. There's also a small possibility, I think, that a problem is very hard or just straight impossible to solve for 100 points. I don't know what is official IOI approach to that, because often there is an optimization problem where you can get more and more points for better and better solution, but is it guaranteed that always there exists a solution worth 100 points? Yeah, sadly there is no way to access the problems. Sorry. Unless somebody maybe posted. Nope, only the leaderboard. Anything about IOI? Pavel says that problems will maybe available today or tomorrow and you can absolve. Maybe the statements will be available just after the contest ends. Let's read the last practice problem. William participated in this competition. William Lin? I don't think so. I think he's already in MIT. The University of Warsaw Math Department. The University of Warsaw has very high level. I think if you want to go study math, then Warsaw is a very good place for it. So the culture is okay, the teachers are very good / talented. So I honestly recommend Warsaw to people. What is the problem type of problem 2? Seems that there are many decimals. That you can get partial score, where you optimize something, and it's not just that there is one correct output and that's it. You can improve and improve. It's called optimization problem. Okay, last practice problem for us to read. Magic trick. Select a permutation, place n cards on table. Ith card displays P of I. Alicia enters, observes cards, selects k of them to flip, and hides the values. Then Beatrice enters, sees what is remaining, and magically determines the values of all k hidden cards. Maximize k. So we see a permutation. We should hide some numbers, changing them into question marks. Then the other person comes, and from what they see, they should guess what is hidden. It's great that Olympiads use sometimes this kind of problems. It's very rare to see that in code forces, for example. Maybe also because it's just time consuming to think about it and analyze. Maybe there is no complicated algorithm here, but you need to think about this kind of puzzle. If we hide one card, then always from what remains, you can guess what is missing. But let's think about a strategy to hide two cards. M be the value of this. Okay, so I will try to get a solution worth, I think, 30 points. So how can we get a permutation? What is n? Is n fixed? 256. Okay. Okay, I have 256 elements, and I want to hide two elements. And after my friend comes to the room, they need to see this, and they need to guess what the two hidden numbers are. How do I do this? One strategy would be to always hide two numbers that are increasing. Okay? Or maybe this, two adjacent numbers that are increasing. I'm choosing two adjacent numbers that are increasing. So if my opponent or the colleague sees this, then they know 1 and 2 are missing. So they say, okay, 1 and 2 are here in increasing order. If the whole sequence is decreasing, then instead I will hide the first and the third number, and that means that they are decreasing. So if the other person sees that two consecutive values are hidden, then they reveal them as increasing missing values. And if they see this, then decreasing. That's a solution worth, I think, 30 points. And clearly this is far from optimal. I can experiment so much more. But the full score, I'm sure it's not an easy solution to come up with. I couldn't do it in 5 minutes. Is that error detections? Kind of. I would call this information theory. You need to pass some information, and in particular checksums are a way to do it. Katsuki Ota has a lot of points in 3 different problems, 432 points in total. I would argue that it's better at this point to have 129, because then you have only 2 problems remaining. Oh, he has just jumped here, right? Or am I mistaken? I thought that a moment ago this was 50 something. Okay, now this is a nice score. Looking at the full leaderboard, I would of course suggest stop working on world map, switch to souvenirs, get 100 points, and then move on to something else. 90 minutes passed. I will soon have a break, maybe. Moldova 70 on triples. Alin Popescu. Yes, 70 points on triples. Nice score. Jerzy Olkowski, almost 100 points in world map. That's good. Franek still with 39. 12 points for world map. That's maybe good. And 0. That's not good. Will somebody get the full score? All kill? Well, there are 3 hours and a half remaining. We don't know about triples. We don't know if it's possible to solve it for 100 points. If now what we saw is already that somebody got 100 points rather than 97, then looking at this situation, I would say that there will be a full score. But now, hard to say. Clearly, there will be a score of 270. Though that requires either triples for 100 or world map. A lot of people will get 240. I can maybe write down some guesses. 1 full score is my guess. And let's say for 15 people get 240 plus. Those are my guesses. And maybe I can take a guess on how many people have 100 points somewhere. Or number of hundreds, or maybe 100 times 100, let's say. I'm estimating that there will be 100 values 100. No, that's absurd. Of course not. That would be a stupid estimation. 60 100s. Right now there are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 1. There are right now 12. 12 times 3, 36, a little bit more, 70. Okay. Kazakhstan surrounded rainbow. Did he just jumped up? Because I guess a moment ago maybe Rainbow was here. $133. Okay, I see. 1 minute ago he jumped up, and a moment ago. Oh, interesting. There are 3 people from Kazakhstan who have almost the same scores, but obviously they are not cheating because they have completely different scores per tasks. Each of them has different score from souvenirs. For triples, 2 of them have the same, the other has something else, and in world map 1 has 7. Maxim Tsoy from Kazakhstan now jumped over the other 3. That's very good year for Kazakhstan right now. Currently, temporarily, it seems that it's almost 4 gold medals. How is Indonesia doing, by the way? Some time ago they were really at the top. It's not that good now, still nice. Kelvin with 97 points, first and third task. No, IOI is 2 days. It doesn't matter that much what is your score exactly today. What matters is only the sum of scores for the 2 days. In total, there are 6 problems, so 600 points. That wasn't 86 before. Something changed here, right? Yep. Oh, interesting. We can see subtasks. Okay, so maybe first CZ. What we are seeing is that 20-something minutes ago he got 22 points. Then some resubmission didn't improve anything, some resubmission didn't improve anything, and finally he solved everything except for the last subtask fully. The last subtask is for 56 points and he got 42, which is unusual. How can you get partial score? Like, is it possible that the problem is binary or not? Because partial score usually happens when you have real values. I will check Bangladesh in a moment. I see that 3 different people are asking, so sure. But also I want to check triples. I see that it's fight for hundreds of a point. 8 points, 70 points, 96.83, 96.88. So there are binary subtasks, and then there are non-binary subtasks. There are 2 people with clearly the same solution for triples. I think that 100 points for triples is possible because people at the top, if we combine their scores, they have 100. Because this guy from China didn't solve 789 fully versus Daria. Oh no, sorry, I didn't see correctly. But this is 8, 9, 10. Everything from 8 onward not solved. But 7 also not solved. 3 out of 5. Okay, I didn't see correctly. So maybe still 100 points is hard. Let's look at your Bangladesh. I was in Bangladesh once for the ICPC finals. 72 points. I remember that I was very tired after the travel, and they told me to go to the contest venue to practice something before the what was it called? The JetBrains showdown of Kotlin. Tourist couldn't attend, and I replaced him there, and I was so tired I just wanted to sleep. There are 2 people from Bangladesh with 72 points, which is a nice score, especially because it's for world map, and then in souvenirs, if you try this problem later, you can get a lot of points. Dash has 39, 1 person with, oh, still something, 33. There is maybe 40 people with a 0 still. I don't see any Polish flag here, so everybody from Poland has points, right? 7 points, yeah. Poland likes the problem world map, 86 and 86. Franek still with those points and the +8. Yeah, it's looking better for Poland. Because Artur and Jerzy are close to the gold territory. How do I... Oh, I can track particular people. Interesting. I still want a button to unclick a country easily. What place will Romania get? I didn't want to do this. Oh, nice. 35 and 86 points. And 100 points. Romania is looking at least 1 gold medal. Temporarily, it's 2 gold medals. Country-wise, that might be something like top 5. What, other than China, what countries are repeated in the top? Rainbow already tried everything. This is the opposite of his Code Forces strategy, where he goes from the hardest. Yeah, China is dominant. Well, no. In some previous years, you would already see top 3 by China. Here it's only top 2. I will look at Pakistan, yeah. It seems that no country is really dominating. China has the top 2 places, but other than that, it's fair game for everybody. Muhammad with silver performance right now. Points for the first 2 tasks. Then around 50. And another Muhammad with 21. Some time ago, when you would click at this point in the leaderboard, it would be still 0 points or 7. And now many people got the partial 10 or 20 points. By the way, I think I would like IOI more if there were 4 problems where one is very easy. Oh, I want to hide the message. Because those problems often they have very long and complicated statements, and I understand that there is a subtask that is trivial. That being said, the statement is not trivial to go through. I already answered this. Yes, I think OpenAI gets a gold medal, in particular because Olympiads are easy to participate for AI, because there are subtasks. So it's like you have actually 15 different problems, and a human needs a lot of time to go through all of them. And with those partial scores, it might be even easier to go towards the full solution. Whoa, 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 whoa. Michał Wolny has just jumped from 0 to 100 points. Congrats to him. 7 points 8 minutes ago, again 7 3 minutes later, and another 3 minutes later, full score. I guess that 6 minutes should be just some kind of small bug in your code. So he has just jumped from 0 points to 100 in few minutes. Very nice. Yeah. Well, after 2 hours, it's not that impressive. The competition is 5 hours, by the way. So it's kind of a risky strategy for your mental game, not to submit anything until you get the 100 points. That being said, once you do, it's a great situation. You have only 2 problems remaining and it's so comfortable. You know that you didn't mess up the day. Okay, so right now, provisional scores, we're looking at gold and 3 silvers for Poland. That's a very nice score. Though they will not beat the score of Polish team for IMO this year. In Math International Olympiad, the Poland did great. Huge congrats to them. Now you cannot see the problems. Anything happening in Code Forces? No. No. Okay. So almost 2 hours passed. I'm going to have a break, I think, now. I will leave the stream on, maybe just showing the leaderboard. Does it refresh automatically? Let's see. I will see for the next 1 minute if anything changes. So did this person go up or not? I think the placement did not change. China top 3? Oh, yeah, I didn't even see. Nice. Okay, I think the leaderboard updates automatically, so I can just leave you with this. It seems that it's a nice selection of problems. If there are 3 people in the top with mainly 2 different problems solved: souvenirs and triples, souvenirs and world map, triples and world map. I think usually there is like it's clear that one problem is the hardest. Here it's not the case. Okay, China is winning this. What about the third person from the fourth person? I mean, 70 points is not a bad score. This guy might be 1 submission away from joining the rest of China at the top. We'll see what the US does. Okay. So one more look here. Thank you for XCamp for sponsoring the stream. If you go to XCamp Academy, you can see some Olympiad courses, including very high-level courses for like platinum/grandmaster level, and for the US training camp. Go check it out, and there is that code you can use this thing for $50 off if you're joining that. Sadly for people in Europe, it's hard to join those high-level classes because of the time zone. It is middle of the night in Europe. Just go there, explore courses, and see what is there. In particular, I wanted to do competitive courses, and there is USACO Gold, and above that USACO Grandmaster, which basically means Platinum. Okay. One last look at the leaderboard before I go. Any important questions from the chat? What is the subtask thing? The problem is actually split into multiple problems. Maybe I should have explained that at the beginning of the stream. I will do that after the break. All right. What do I want to display? I want to say maybe that I'm having a break. Okay, I'm hiding the chat. Is that good? Okay. You don't need my face. $200 already. Wait, that's worth seeing. Souvenirs and world map, nice. Still, right now, I would argue that Henshi has bigger chance of winning the day because he's the only person in triples to have more than 80 points, versus in world map, few people already have 100 points. And that 3 points difference is nothing, it's not important right now. So CZ will quickly get 70 points, I'm guessing, but whether he will get more, we'll see. Though if you have 3 hours, if a problem is solvable and he's strong, then he will solve it. The person in second place, they are for sure working on world map, at least this is what they should do. Okay, and now hiding this, muting myself off, and see you guys in 40 minutes. So this is the timer of how much time elapsed. When it's half of the competition, so 2:30, I will go back. test. Sound. Okay, what happened? Oh, China doesn't have top 3 anymore. There is Mihai from Romania with almost 2 full scores. Have 170 now, it's not enough for the very top. That being said, if you have 170 for a long time already, it means that you already spent a lot of time on the first task. Okay, Poland, that's what is most important for me. Franek at very low gold, Michał at middle silver, after for a long time being at 0 points, and then more than 1 hour into the competition jumped almost immediately from 0 to 100, and 2 strong bronzes with the same score of 86. And that's very good situation because souvenirs seems easier. Or is it? World map, souvenirs. Oh, it's not. That's, I think, an important observation. If we sort by points, then only that many people have more than 40 points in souvenirs, versus in world map, I can keep scrolling up to 40 points here. 72 points in world map is way easier than 60 or 100 points in souvenirs. Okay. Then now I would say that apparently if you solved souvenirs and triples, for example, who is such a person? Here we go. Like Petr Losev or San Beichen or this Xinjiang. For those, it's a good sign because world map is actually easier to get 70 points, not really easier to get 100 points. Triples still without a full score. 77.43 is common, so that should mean the same solution. Yeah, what about the United States? Okay, I will then take a guess. There are 2 possibilities, well, 3. One is Brian is not participating. Second is that he's just stuck on one problem and unnecessarily he's trying to fix some solution that just has a bug, and maybe he's, few characters away from 100 points. And the last possibility, very crazy one, is that he wants to give us some fun and he's not submitting in the first half of the competition. He doesn't have a single submission. Last year he was 3rd. Other than that, USA doing so-so. Tunisia? I can check that. Only 2 people from Tunisia? Tune 1. Oh. Not everybody got from Tunisia to the finals, because I see Tunisia 2 and Tunisia 3, suggesting that there are 2 people out of at least 3. China going for the win as a country. Obviously, I don't think there is any country. Whoa, Poland strong. Forget about China. Look at this. Michał, 0 points, like hour and a half ago. Now at 170. If you're as strong as the weakest person from China, that's already very strong, right? Tak? Okay. Okay, one moment, I need to move the dog between rooms. for some reason. Be right back. Mikrofon jest włączony. Okay, I'm back. Okay, Russia IOI 1, Belarus IOI 2, IOI 3. Okay, so then IOI 2 is Israel, right? Oh, there isn't IOI 2. I see. Okay. Back to maybe analyzing Poland, because before I needed to go. So when did he get first points? 1 hour 40 minutes. For first 1 hour 40 minutes he was working on one problem. Then maybe the next hour to get 70 points in the other problem. That's a very nice performance already. So this seems to be GOAT level performance today. I mean, there are more than 2 hours left, so he will, if he doesn't get more points, he will drop a lot. But world map for 70 points seems to be like the easiest 70 points to get today. So good for Michał. Franek is at 30, 30, 70. Hopefully he can get souvenirs for 100. Arthur 86 and partial points here. Maybe he will get few dozens extra there and switch to souvenirs. And Jerzy Olkowski 86. All right. I'm not sad about the performance from Poland. Romania, we can check Romania. Maybe first. Indonesia surprised me with a very strong performance at the beginning. Now it's, oh, okay. India, not very good. Bronze and below. Yash Tucker with high bronze, 72 for world map. Who was I supposed to check? Romania we checked recently. Whoa, that's nice. 2 people in the top. So I remember that Mikhail is at the top, but not that they have 2 golds right now. You always cheer for the underdog. If you see 3 people from China in the top, then you automatically cheer for the others. There is also somebody from Austria. That being said, judging from the second name, it's not native Australian. 99.91 for triples. I see. I wonder if at this point he will keep going. I think right now, I understand that for your score, for expected value of your score, and thus also your place, you should go for world map, the last 14 points. That being said, when you see that you are so close to 100, it's, I'm sure, very hard not to try the 100. So he got back to this problem. There is one subtask only where he doesn't have the full score. I wonder if anybody else has. In subtask 8, you can get 5 points. Subtask 8. Subtask 8. Nope. Nope. Okay. Hardest subtask, I guess. White Australian is not native. Okay, fair. South Korea. Two golds, two very strong silvers. Korea is doing very well today. 170, 151. If you combine scores from those two guys, 100 for souvenirs and 100 for world map, in total you will get 270. Still not enough to win, obviously. Okay, some improvement for one of them. Mingyu. Nice that we were just looking at Korea. Hassan, stop repeating stuff. I'm timing you out. Third place, impressive. Or first among people from outside of China. So congrats to Mingyu Wu. What countries do we have in the top? So there's China times 3, Korea, Romania, Australia. Okay, there is IOI too. Wait, somebody said IOI 1 is Russia, 3 is Belarus. Then who is IOI 2? Yeah, it's sad to see United States underperforming, specifically because the stream today is sponsored by XCamp. You're seeing their logo, and their main selling point or advertisement is that they coach the strongest competitors in the United States. The 3 out of 4 IOI participants are here. It's just unlucky what's happening, but maybe Brian just has something already and is waiting with submitting, though it's so dangerous here. In IOI you want to submit to get the verdict. You want to see the score and be sure that yeah, it's correct. So wait, there are 2 teams from Russia? Israel is 2, they didn't attend, okay. Oh, Lydia says something. Naming of IOI contestants is confusing. Contestants. Oh, okay. Got it. So when I see IOI 2, it wasn't the team name. It was ID of a person, just like China 4 is one of 4 people from China. So Daria is from team IOI 1, which is Russia. Petr Lozev is from team IOI, which is also Russia, though they are marked here as participant 2 and 3. Thank you, Lydia. I couldn't get it right for the full stream, and sometimes I got information, but then I saw something that contradicts it. Thank you. Well, we'll see what United States does. Whoa. Back to Korea. Okay. That's looking good. I wonder if it's possible that Korea gets first place country-wise? Oh, and 100 for triples. I didn't see that. Okay, then plus this is solvable. There are 2 hours left. We will have a full score. Let's get back to my predictions. 1 full score, 15 people get 240 plus, and there will be 100 scores in the leaderboard. 240. Right now there are 4 people with 240. I might be close. Korea cooking indeed. 270, 242. And this is also a very strong score because 17 world map is easy. Like if you look at the leaderboard, everybody around him has more than this. 100 on 7 years is very safe to have. 76 here. Yeah, Korea is right now the second strongest country, I think. Hard to compare to Russia, of course. Brian. Oh, here you go. 86 for world map. Well, I wouldn't say he's cooking, but he's getting something. It's not supposed to be an insult, but people from Poland already have 86 points here. And those people from Poland did not have 3rd place last time. Yes, USA Tour is writing any code? I don't know. Alex now got some extra points. Though you want to have 100 points or close at something rather than twice having 40 points. Let Brian cook. Okay, okay. I'm letting him. So now that he's cooking, I will display the message and advertise the sponsor of the stream. 3 out of 4 participants of the United States team. By the way, they are doing poorly today, but it's a coincidence. They are students from XCamp. XCamp is doing camps training for USACO and IOI in the United States, also for abroad, but it might be tricky getting the time zones right. You can visit XCamp Academy to see their courses, including really high-level stuff. Actually, platinum level stuff. And there is code EricTo50 for the discount. Donut Master, how many years do you have still to try to get to IOI? You think Brian is having fun not submitting? I don't know. If it was Rainbow, then I would be able to believe that he's solving the hardest problem. And just he read 3 problems, he saw which one is hardest, and he's solving that one. But anybody who isn't like way stronger than everybody else, would they do something like this? But also, if you're a strong participant, it's perfectly fine to read all 3 problems, think about them, and not even touch keyboard for the first hour or 2 of the competition. Maybe that's his strategy. Maybe he only recently, he said, he thought that now he came up with all the solutions he wanted, and now he will start implementing. Maybe in 1 hour he will get extra 150 points. Petru moved to top 4. Nice. So there is this website with teams. Which is Petru? It's Losov. So this is the person who is now at top 4. Daria Grekova is also high. Both are at International Grandmaster. Gimran is as well. Where is he? Yeah, here. Actually, who is higher right now? Korea or Russia? Korea, Russia, Korea. I think rank-wise it's a tie. And point-wise, Rares from Romania now with new points. What did he get? He got extra points in world map. So this is 20 points for Korea. Plus 40, it's 60 for Korea. Then this versus that. 40 for Korea. Okay, Korea is winning with Russia by 30 points, more than 30 points, if my math is right. Sorry, not Russia. Team IOI won. Was that expected, by the way? Again, where are the teams here? Yeah, I guess I wouldn't guess that. What about Kazakhstan? Wait, I need to close some tabs. Those were results from last year. So Brian was third in China, and Rainbow was fifth. Well, sixth if you count Israel. Do people from China still have that rule that they can only once participate in IOI? I think here. No, close. Slovenia losing. I mean, Slovenia isn't a huge country with a lot of strong participants, right? One person with bronze. Then... Okay. Then what's next? Kazakhstan. Was Kazakhstan this strong for the whole time? Or is my memory bad? 2 silvers, 2 golds. Though, not as... No, okay, 100 in world map. Which is harder to get than 100 in souvenirs. Kazakhstan has one of the 4 hundreds in world map. For souvenirs we have around 20 full scores. What code forces rating guarantees at least silver in IOI? I can tell you. No rating guarantees that. If you have 3000 rating, maybe it's 90% to get at least silver. If you have 4000 rating, maybe you have 99%, but it's never 100. You can mess up. This might be a risky statement, but I think that tourists could possibly have a very bad day and not get silver. Though it's less than 1% for that happen. So to saw this being very close to each other. Yeah, and again by coincidence. Somebody commented how two Saudis are close to each other by 0.33, and when I started looking at them, one more got exactly the same score as one of those two, and not with the same points per tasks. So we were saying that those two are close to each other by 0.33. Oh, somebody. If now fourth person from Saudi Arabia would enter here into this gap, it would be unbelievable. Michał, I think, will not have anything new for a long time because he should be working on world map. Egypt had difficulty traveling here. Oh, can I tell? Let me complain a little bit about that. So Egypt right now, strong silver, strong bronze, and bronze. So Code Forces, Egypt, IOI. Oop, access denied. Okay. They created a donation campaign, crowdfunding, to collect $13,000 to go to IOI because the government doesn't support them and they couldn't get to the IOI. They collect almost nothing, but then they announced that thanks to companies, right? How is it? Where did they say that actually they could go? I'm not saying this, but they said, okay, update, we're flying to IOI thanks to everyone who donated and all organizations that supported our journey. We got support for the international flights from several organizations, and the raised money for crowdfunding will go towards funding our domestic flights and IOI registration. This wasn't the deal. I'm not saying it's so bad and they shouldn't do it, stuff like that, but come on. It's not crazy to say that it's some kind of a scam, that you're saying you need $10,000 to achieve something, you collect $200, and then you're saying, oh, actually, we didn't need that, but we're getting that $200 anyway. Well, of course, the first thing is that it's bad that in Egypt the government doesn't support them. That being said, briefly let me tell you how a few years ago I didn't have any money in Moscow, Russia, because I supported an initiative like this one. When I was in Moscow for some internship, it was before the war, it was many years ago, similar thing happened. I think it was, again, donate money to Egypt so they would go to IOI. I donated $20. And what happened is that my bank blocked my credit card because they said that it's a suspicious activity because you're donating to some random place. I don't know, this one was gogetfunding.com. I don't remember what that platform a few years ago was, but they blocked my account or my card. They couldn't contact me via phone because I was in Russia. You don't want to have roaming on there. I tried to call them. I tried from Russia to call my bank in Poland. And what happened is after a few minutes of conversation, the conversation died because the money on my phone account was out. I eventually bought a new local SIM card to call my bank. I needed to borrow money from somebody from work over there. And so I bought a SIM card. I called my bank again. Then I couldn't pass the verification process because I had a new ID for several months earlier. I needed to change it. And when they said, for verification purposes, tell us your ID number, I couldn't do it correctly because I had a new ID and I didn't tell the bank in time. Yeah, it was crazy hard to get back access to my money in Russia when I was in Russia because I donated to something like this. And because of that, I'm less eager to donate in the future. Another thing, by the way, was that I invited my parents to come to Moscow to visit me for a week or two so they could actually visit Moscow. I paid for the tickets. I wanted to pay for stuff like restaurants there, and I didn't have my credit card. So I'm not a fan of donating to Egypt flying to IOI. Okay, I have the internet and we have the leaderboard on. Still, of course, all the best to Egypt. Guys, it's not your fault. For sure not fault of anybody from the participants. On Friday, which is second day of IOI, we will have access to the problems from first day, and then I will talk about the problems. Kazakh's still doing well. Romania, very nice. Now you get some repeated countries in the top. To China, to Korea, to Romania, well, to Russia. Somebody from UK, Hungary. Right now, 100 on world map, or let's say more than 90. China, Korea, China, Kazakhstan, Romania, UK. Was Korea always this good? Not this good. I mean, if you look at the ratings, then they are among the top 4 strong Reds, but I don't think they were favorites for the second place among countries. What about Iran or Iran? They are doing badly compared to their rating, because it seems that they have 4 strong people. Actually, the quick looks at the ratings do not support that. When I opened Korea's ratings, it seemed higher. Well, maybe not. Okay, they are all just low red. But Code Forces isn't one-to-one correlated with the Olympiad performance. Yeah, using a drill. Sadly, I recently moved, and in my building it's still a lot of construction work. In particular, I'm more tempted to finish the stream now. I was not going to go for the full 5 hours, but if they are drilling so much now, maybe it's time to stop the stream. Someone is drilling into my house. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so sad. It took them 60 hours to get to Bolivia, including 10-hour bus ride after war in Iran. They are doing great if you consider that. Okay, that sounds so exhausting. For most events, I would not even consider this much travel. If I could go to Bolivia right now, like completely for free, and I needed to spend 20 hours on the flights, I don't think I would do it. Moldova has a chance for 1 gold. Yes, they do, for exactly 1 gold. Alin has the chance. Also, let's maybe look at one thing. How big are the score differences? So now the top got way higher than the rest, but there's time to catch up. And then it's mostly linear, right? Yeah. It's not that there is a big gap somewhere. It's nice about IOI problems that they have a lot of subtasks, a lot of gradual scoring, and because of that the scoreboard looks like this. Actually, such problems are hard to choose and prepare. It's a lot of work. I know from experience of being a coordinator for some more local Olympiad that it's so much easier to create a binary problem where you get 0 or 100 points. And does India have a chance for a gold? They do have a chance, but you know, somebody can quickly get 100 points. They can turn 0 into 100. Okay. Score cutoff between medals. On the left here you can see the rough colors. So gold is up to around 30th place, silver around 90th place, and bronze around 180. There isn't score cutoff, it depends on the rank. You need to be in the top 50% to get a medal, bronze, and in top 1/12 to get gold. Okay, maybe let's look at the United States. Brian still at 86. I wonder what will happen, where he will finish. I think he will not get 270. So I will add to my guesses. He will finish with 230 points. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm right. Still cooking. Still cooking. He has not finished cooking. Rainbow Dough is doing okay. 170. If he gets 100 points here, then that's just a great score and a strong gold right now. Okay, one last time. Okay, one last time. Let me mention the sponsor, XCamp. Especially if you're in the United States, consider their courses. Many of their students actually are going to IOI. And we'll see at the end of the contest today how well they perform. And that includes Brian, who got 3rd place last time. Okay, I think I will finish for now. 3 hours of talking is enough for me, even with the break. Another Brian now got some improved score. I will maybe paste my guesses into the chat. We'll see how far from correct I am. Right now, 6 people with 240 plus. We'll see. Okay, see you everybody on Friday. Friday might be more interesting of a stream because we will know problems from day one. So I will on Friday talk about problems from day one. Thank you for XCamp for sponsoring the stream. Also on Codeforces you can find my blog with my classes. Rainbow would be in IOI Hall of Fame top 5 after gold in this IOI. What scores does he already have? I don't know. Okay. So once again, thank you for watching. Kind of good luck to the participants of IOI. Of course, it's nice to see high scores. It's nice if not many people are disappointed in their performance. And I will go now. Have a good rest of your day, whether it's morning, evening, whatever is your time zone. Bye. See you in 2 days on Friday.